Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at Ape. Before we jump into the price action, I just want to say thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the content, please smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, why not hit that subscribe button so you get kept up to date. Turn on those bell notifications and why not leave us some feedback down below. We're always happy to hear from everyone. Okay, so let's get into this. So this is going to be a shorter term price action video. And basically, we have a longer term sort of macro TA available as well, which will be appearing up in the right hand side right now. So effectively, click on that if you want to see a macro picture of all the things I'm talking about within here. We're just going to cover the shorter term moves within this so that we keep the video shorter. Okay, so let's get into it. So for the most part, what I'm looking at here is the potential of having a 5-wave move to the upside play out here. And what we're looking for is the potential whether this could turn into a bigger 5-wave move, and that would be confirmed by moving above this 8.018 zone. Effectively, that would be this typical third wave that we have here. So if we do actually move up here, it's possible that we could then be looking for a higher target zone, potentially up to sort of this 994.24 to this 868.6. So this would be a zone we could actually look to target out with as a 5-wave move in here. And like we were talking about in the previous video, there is potential that this could become a bigger trending move where this becomes a 1-2 and then we actually look for a third wave to the upside. However, this 5-wave move in isolation is not enough to confirm that. So we just need to see what happens after this plays out. So for the most part, I'm looking at this as potentially a 1, 2, 3 into this high, flat as a fourth, and then potentially we've actually completed into this high point here. So if this is the case, what we'd be looking for is actually to start moving down in this fourth wave to move to the downside here. So if we come in a bit closer here, what we can see is that potentially within the structure we have a 1, 2, this is a 3, 4, and then we finished as a 5 wave up here. So basically what we would be looking for then is the fact that this could actually be starting to break down. We have had an ABC, so a 3-wave move to the downside, so that we need to be aware that there can always be some extension in here. So we're going to be talking about that option in a minute. But before we get into that, basically, it is also possible that we could take this high point and form an ABC to the upside here, and this becomes an A, a B as a flat, and then we actually look to break down. So if we do move to the upside here, and we're just looking at this as a 3-wave move, we would have to argue that potentially this is the B wave here. It could be still ongoing. We haven't really come down that much yet. We've only come down to this 382. So I'd be expecting this to come back down lower towards this sort of $6 range if it is going to play out as a ABC to the upside. So what I'd be looking for is the potential to come back into this zone, push up for a C wave to the upside, and then effectively that could look to take us towards this zone here of this 6615, and that would be looking at a 1-to-1. It can fall short of this 1-to-1 target, so we need to bear that in mind. But if we do progress to the upside and we only form a 3-wave move here, effectively what we'd be looking for then, in my opinion, would be a 5-wave move to the downside, looking for this to potentially turn into an A, this is a B, and then have a bigger C wave to the downside. And what this would be looking out for is potentially looking to target lower down in this range of this 5.532 all the way to the lower range, which would be the maximum really we would want to go, which would be this 4.722 area. So this would be something that's possible within this move, is to form a structure like this, and we actually look to break to the downside. There is, however, a bullish potential within this where we could actually still have some extension within this wave. And because we're sort of in the middle of an extending wave here, we need to bear in mind that this third wave might not actually be complete, and we might not be forming this fourth just yet, and that actually we could still be in this, and it's still extending. So basically within this option, if I just remove these ABCs off of here, effectively what we'd be looking for is the potential that we have an extension playing out. So if we actually do find support again within this 5829 to this 5445 area, effectively what we could form is basically a B wave to the downside here, or wave 2 in this case, and then we could actually look for a move to the upside. So it depends where this move would come down to as to where our target zone would be. But if we did come down to this 0.618, which sits us here at this 5.696 area, effectively our impulsive trigger or typical third wave would be here at the 7787 area. So this would be an area that this third wave would most likely travel to. So if we do come back down, we drop down in that ABC like we talked about, potentially if we find support in here, we could still look for further extension to the upside. However, it is also possible that this move could reject to the downside and then basically form something like this, where we look this as an ABC. We come back up for another B wave, and then we actually look to push lower. And that lower target zone, like I said, would be this 532 to this 4722 zone. So we need to sort of watch how this develops, because we're trying to see if we can get up to this third wave target area here, and that's at this this 818 zone. And so we need to just be aware that basically if we fail to reach this zone, it is more likely that actually this whole move is just, instead of looking at it a 5-wave move, we could just look at this then as a 3-wave move to the upside, as an A, B, and a C. And then we could actually look at this, that meaning that this whole move is a corrective pattern, and we could actually break down. And we had a few options within this, and we were talking about this within the macro video, where we could be having a potential triangle. So it basically, if we don't reach this 818 or 8018 area, effectively we could actually look for a much deeper retracement, and we could actually then invalidate this potential of a bigger 5-wave move here. So we need to see what happens. I am anticipating that we still have this 4th wave in play at the moment. It's just whether this 5th wave is actually completed. If it has completed, we could actually start to look to break down here. And like I said, if there is going to be an extension within this wave structure, effectively it would be within this green box area, and we'd look for this as a potential ABC to the downside, and then looking to progress back up. If we do come into this green box and then we push up to the 7787, it is possible we could actually look for a bigger impulsive structure here, and we could be looking for this target zone up here, which would look to basically cross this blue line here of this 838 to this 8008 zone. So yeah, I mean, for the most part, it is possible to count this as a potentially impulsive structure, but we haven't quite reached this this zone yet. So either we have to have an extension here, or alternatively, if we just have this yellow 4th and 5th wave up here, but we fail to meet this this 8.018 zone, it is possible, like I said, this could be a completed move, and then we could break down. So we need to just be careful within this zone. We could extend up, like I said here, and then we could actually look to push to the upside. The other option that I want to just briefly touch on here is there is also the potential that we could look at a bigger move here playing out. And if I come back on here to the 4-hourly, so we can explain this a little bit better. So this is a bit more skeptical, and this would be looking at this as a 1-2, 1-2, and then potentially looking for another 1-2. So if we basically, the difference with this is that this when we retrace into this wave 2 area here, it would push up higher than we would anticipate for that 4th wave option. So if we do actually look at this as a potentially completed wave 1 here, so if I move this over slightly so we can see it there, it is possible we could actually come back down here and retest this zone for wave 2. And this would then be looking at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into this high, potentially looking for this retracement in a 2, and then looking for a potential push up towards this 891 for confirmation. So we'll have to watch this move as it plays out. If we actually do start to break up higher, it is possible that we could look at this as an extension within the waves, and this would effectively mean we have a much bigger structure playing out here. And this would look to push much higher than the other version with the simple impulse, and looking at this as just a normal 5-wave move. So this is just tracking if there's extension within the waves, but basically within this option, if we lose this 4475, that would invalidate the structure completely. So we need to see if we can maintain that. If we do retrace into this zone again, it is possible we could be setting up for a much bigger move here, though we need to be aware that other coins are potentially looking for pullbacks. So we need to just take that into account when we are looking at these coins. So the danger of this is, and I'm going to just switch it onto the, for instance, the triangle. If we complete this as a 3-wave move here, we have a couple of options where we can either look at this as a potentially bigger diagonal to the downside, or alternatively this whole move could just be a triangle in development, and this whole 3-wave move could actually then break down and we could look to actually push lower. So what happens off the back of this move is going to be very important, and we need to give it a bit of time to see how we react. If we manage to get that 4th wave and an additional push up, then we could be looking at a bigger structure here. However, if we fail to, then we have to just bear in mind that if we fail to develop that 4th and 5th wave up, then we effectively just have a 3-wave move here, which is a corrective move, which means that it is against the trend, which means that we will be continuing to the downside. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. If you want more information about the macro side of things and like the shapes that you're seeing now on the screen, we did a in-depth macro video today as well, so why not check that out? I'm sure you'll really appreciate it. And yeah, okay, so I'm going to leave it there. I hope everyone has a great day, and we'll see each other in the next video. Like I said, if you're new to the channel, why not hit that subscribe button? We really appreciate your support, everybody, and have a great weekend. Take care out there.